6, Lesson 3. Victory at San Jacinto. Dear cousin, life in Gonzales changed 3 days ago. A woman came with a message from Sam Houston from Santa Ana. I did not know whether Houston had heard about the horrible outcome at the Alamo. I do know that his face became very pale. What happened next may shock you, cousin. First, Houston told everyone in Gonzales to pack up and leave. Then the soldiers removed their supplies from the town. Finally, Houston's own soldiers burned our town to the ground. The Mexican army found only smoldering ashes. We would not let them take our town at any cost. More fighting. The Mexicans are coming. Word about Gonzales spread quickly among the Texas settlers. Santa Ana had ordered his troops to sweep across Texas, burning every settlement in their path. He wanted to stamp out the revolution for good. During March 1836, people in Texas fled eastward toward the United States. They were fearful for their lives. This movement was called the Runaway Scrape. Meanwhile, other battles were being fought in the Revolution. Colonel James Fanning led one of them at Goliad. A series of unfortunate decisions made by James Fanning began on March 14th. First, he did not lead his 350 men to Victoria for safety. Instead, he kept them inside the fort at Goliad. There he waited to hear from some of his troops fighting in a nearby refugio. On March 18th, Mexican General Urrea arrived in Goliad with about 450 soldiers. The two sides fought briefly, then Fanning decided to head towards Victoria after all, but it was too late. Urrea's army surrounded Fanning's troops near a creek. Fanning decided that his troops must fight again. The Mexican army quickly stopped them, though. Fanning was forced to surrender. On March 27th, Urrea followed an order sent by Santa Ana to the Texas prisoners. The Texas prisoners were marched into a prairie near the fort. Then the Mexican soldiers shot most of them. Only the survivors hid or ran from the firing squad. The Goliad mass killing brought about another battle cry for Texans. Remember Goliad. Before the last battle. What would you have done if you were Sam Houston? The Texans could not lose any more men and win the revolution. First, Houston decided to take some time to improve his main Texas force. For 2 weeks in April 1836, he taught the men how to work together to succeed in battle. Next, Houston asked his scouts to help. A scout named Erastus Duff Smith taught men how to ride ahead and gather clues about enemy. Hendrick Arnold, a free African-American scout, got into the Mexican army camps and pretended to be a runaway slave. He then brought information back to Houston. Finally, Houston gathered more weapons. The citizens of Cincinnati, Ohio, sent 2 cannons. The Texans named them the Twin Sisters. On April 14th, Houston's army marched towards Harrisburg. 5 days later, his scouts told him that Santa Anna's army was camped on the San Jacinto River near Harrisburg. Houston's army was ready. The Battle of San Jacinto. On April 20th, Houston's army stopped to where the San Jacinto River meets the Buffalo Bayou. The soldiers pitched camp in a grove of live oak trees. A wide prairie stretched in front of them. That same day, a small group of Texan and Mexican soldiers started fighting, but when the Texans fired the Twin Sisters cannons, Santa Anna called off his men.